Buenas noches. Good evening. And Dali, which means hi in Mazateco. I'm Sylvia from Mexico, from THP Mexico, and I'm really glad to be here with such an amazing people. So, if you were to ask an indigenous woman in Mexico her opinion about her household or her village, she would likely say, I don't know about that. My husband would know. My brother would know. You should talk to them. They are the ones making decisions. I'm just a woman. This is what the persistence of hunger sounds like, because it's not just about food. It's about mindsets. When the Hunger Project works with women to create new possibilities for their lives, you might hear the woman ask questions like, when you talk about human rights, you mean us? You mean our daily lives? We have a right to speak. We have a right to participate and make decisions. Something transformational happens when women realize that they count and start making the use of their voice. One of the women asking these such questions in a Hunger Project workshop in Oaxaca was Patty Martinez. Here she is. Patty is a 30-year-old woman of a 10-year-old boy. Patty is very bright and a transformative leadership. When I think of her smile. Just look at her. It's amazing. I love seeing her smile and laugh. I think about her commitment to transforming the life of the community, her family, and herself. Also, I think of how powerful she is when she is speaking her mind in public, in spaces that are traditionally only for men. She may show up to a meeting to speak before men she has known all of her life, who may have certain opinions about her. Or she may walk for hours through the forest, traveling to a neighboring community, to speak to a gathering of strangers, men she has never met. Patty's work with the Hunger Project has confirmed that her knowledge, experiences, and input as woman are important. But when she actually stands in front of groups of men, it's still hard. She carries a fear. She can remember men telling her, "What are you saying? It's not relevant. Just sit down." She can remember when the men just didn't listen at all. But here is what I want you to know about Patty. She feels fear, and she does not stop. With the Hunger Project trainings, the Vision, Commitment, and Action workshop, Patty and the people of her village of Cerro Alto in Oaxaca looked closely at what they wanted for their children, for their village. They discovered that they had a vision of a self-reliant future. With this vision, they committed to taking actions together. Together, meaning both women and men having a say in the planning and participating in the action. Together, meaning advocating with and partnering with their local governments. They envisioned all of this. And at the very top of that was clean water, safe water, because guess what? Water is a human right. You see, in Cerro Alto, Patty and the people of her village, most often the women and children, would walk far from their doorsteps to climb down into caves to collect water from underground rivers in the dark. They would carry pails full of water to the surface and then carry them home. The community had lost people to these underground rivers. The water sometimes made the children sick. The task took hours every day. Patty and the people of her village wanted to have clean, fresh water close to home. and not collected from dangerous underground rivers, but instead collected straight from the sky. What happened next? The Hunger Project found a technical partner, water experts, to assist Patty and her village to make this happen. They described that they wanted to catch water from the sky. And the water expert said, we have just the answer, a concrete system for collecting rainwater that we will bring in trucks. And because Patty and her village now know the sound and power of their own voices, because they knew the particulars of their everyday life actually mattered, they said, no. They said, we want something that is movable. We want something that can be taken apart and carried. We want to take this rainwater catchment system to every village in our region so that all our people can have water. What happened next is something that is essential to dignity, to human rights, essential to the end of hunger. There was a dialogue between equals, led by Patty, the women, the men, and the water experts working together. The back and forth between true partners produced an innovation that fully respects their indigenous vision and value of nature. A new system for catching water systems that can be packed up and carried, whose installation does not disturb the forest. Patty and the women of Cerro Alto have led a process. Together, they have learned how to install, maintain, and fix these systems. Patty, along with other women and men from Cerro Alto, have gone to other regions in Mexico and have trained other communities to do the same. There are now 120 rainwater catchment systems across the 3 regions of Mexico, and the number keeps growing. Across all of the Hunger Project's work in 12 countries over the last 5 years, the people themselves have installed 3,000 clean water systems and wells. As for Patty, she keeps speaking, emphasizing the importance of women being part of decision-making processes directly, with fewer intermediaries and more opportunities for direct dialogues between rural communities and government at all levels. Most recently, Patty traveled 2 hours through the forest, 4 hours on back roads, 10 hours on highways, all the way to Mexico City. All the many hours she was worried, and she was like, I'm so nervous. What if I say something stupid? Who is going to listen to an indigenous woman? But again, she did it. She stood and addressed a room full of traditional species, of male ambassadors, governors, ministers from the European Union. Their response, we need to hear more from women like you. Thank you.